Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's great, Jake. Oh, how you doing? Didn't see you there. Sorry, I was reading Jake Gyllenhaal's newest novel, Nocturnal Animals. Such a great book. I'm halfway through it. What? It's upside down? Ah, shit. Hit it. What's going on, friends? Logan Myers here from Cinephellas.com to talk about Tom Ford's newest film, the psychological suspense thriller, Nocturnal Animals. Some of you that are not familiar with Tom Ford, he actually is a fashion designer turned director, and I think it's a good choice. This film is very artistic. There's a lot of symbolism, metaphorical meanings. The overall set design is really beautiful. The cinematography, all of that is very well done. It's very artsy. Kind of remind me a little bit of a Nicholas Winding Refn movie, like such as The Neon Demon. Somewhat similar, but different in its own way, especially with the storyline. So Nocturnal Animals is 3 stories intertwined into one. We have present time with a very pretentious and depressed Amy Adams. She's an artist living in LA, and she's just very depressed, and it's rainy and dark, and she's married to Armie Hammer, which is also another egotistical asswipe, and you can tell their marriage is struggling. There's like no interaction between the two. He's always on business and traveling, and she's sitting in their huge house in California with all this art everywhere, and you can just tell that she's not there mentally, and she's very depressed. Another story that's going on within this movie is Amy Adams' character. She used to date Jake Gyllenhaal, his character named Edward, back in college in Texas. And basically, they were married for a little while, and it just didn't work out. He was an aspiring writer, and she didn't really believe in him, and she wanted to go off and do her art thing and leave him behind, which isn't always the best decision. You always kind of go with your gut. So Amy Adams receives this book from old Jake Gyllenhaal titled Nocturnal Animals. And within the movie, you kind of find out why he names the book Nocturnal Animals. Amy starts reading the book, and then she sees herself within the story, and Jake Gyllenhaal's in the story. And it kind of messes with your mind. It makes you think a lot throughout this film. You're trying to understand what's actually real, what's happening in this book. Is it her dreaming? Your mind kind of wanders here and there and trying to figure out what's going on exactly. So as Amy's reading the story and visualizing what's happening in Nocturnal Animals, it's really psychotic. It's really suspenseful. It's like on your edge of your seat thriller. Jake Gyllenhaal and his wife in the book, which is supposed to be Amy Adams, but it's actually played by her doppelganger in real life, Isla Fischer. They look a lot alike. So it was kind of cool that they put Isla Fischer into the book part of the movie. And these rednecks are driving Jake and his family off the side of the road and back roads of Texas. There's like no signal or cops anywhere around. And Aaron Taylor Johnson plays the head honcho of these crazy lunatics, and he is so powerful in this performance. It's very frightening at times. Like, it made me feel really uneasy. I haven't seen Aaron Taylor Johnson in a role like this, but he played the perfect psychopath. So there are a lot of deep, darker themes throughout this film, from understanding their relationship, why it ended, to this book that he wrote, to his ex-wife that he hasn't seen in 19 years, to the visualization of the story as they're playing it back. It's a lot to take in, and you're trying to wonder and understand, is this book, is that what actually happened? What was the reason they broke up? Was it Amy Adams' own flaws? Was it her, not believing in her husband at the time, Edward, and fulfilling his writing dreams of becoming the next big author and New York Times bestseller? Or is it just the way that she looked at the relationship? And Amy Adams' parents really supporting their relationship. She came from a rich family, and they want her to be rich and successful. With writers, they don't always have steady work or make a lot of money, so they're just wanting to protect their daughter. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this movie, and it's really It's a movie you have to pay attention to from start to finish. If you're one of those people that don't like to think after seeing a movie, then this movie is not for you, because that is exactly what this movie is. It makes you think. There's a lot of stories going on into one and intertwining, and there's a lot of symbolic meanings, and there's a lot of metaphors in here. Some are easy to catch, some are not. But I thought Tom Ford did something completely unique with this film, especially in the beginning, which was probably the most peculiar intro to a movie I've seen in a long time. I'll just say that. But he did an excellent job of creating and crafting this story about, this book and about this relationship that went bad to who we are 20 years down the road as adults if we didn't always make the best decisions. He does a great job of intertwining all these themes and making the audience really think about it. I mean, this is an independent film with a lot of big Hollywood A-list actors, with Jake Gyllenhaal, Amy Adams, Isla Fischer, Michael Shannon, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I mean, these are big name actors, and having a dynamic cast like in Nocturnal Animals, it really says a lot, because this is a different story. It definitely stands out as one of the better indie films of this year, in my opinion, because there's no other movies like it. And I am really impressed with Tom Ford's work in this, from fashion designer to director. I think he pulled this off. This is a movie I was highly anticipating, very excited for. Just because I love all the actors, especially Michael Shannon and Jake Gyllenhaal. And they were the powerhouse performances in this. This is a movie you do not want to miss. I am going to give Tom Ford's Nocturnal Animals a 4 out of 5 hat pieces. I just want to thank everybody that's been following us and keeping up to date with Cinephellas. The holiday season is here. It's been pretty crazy and busy, but we got some big projects coming your way, so stay tuned for that. And continue to follow us for all movie and TV news and reviews. Until next time, this is the Seahawks fan himself, Logan Myers, signing out.